Hello and welcome to episode 9 of my devlog series for Crisis Arcana. If you didn't know, this is basically the game I've been making for the past few weeks, and it involves you being a little magic mage, running around, unlocking new spells and fighting through procedurally generated worlds as per such. So today, in this video, we're going over all the addition of the Mixology magic school tree, and to put it simply, that involves creating potions, creating bombs which destroy the terrain, and creating poison attacks, as well as a couple more little tweaks and fixes. So, hope you enjoyed the video, and let's get right to it. The first unlockable ability in the Mixology tree allows the player to spawn in a health potion which they can then use to regain their health. Simple enough, really. It was even simpler to implement into the game, as all I had to do was just create a little point at which the health point would spawn relative to the player's position. It always spawns in front of the player. Further down the Mixology line, the player unlocks the ability to spawn in a super potion. These super potions not only provide increased healing over the regular potions, but provide the player with a temporary damage and defense boost. To begin implementation of this super potion, I first designed an asset for it to be. I took the old health potion and changed the colours around, as well as added some various little markings to the outside of the sprite. With the sprite made, I then focused on turning it into a prefab and creating a new script for the object. This new script is almost identical to the regular health potion script, though I've changed the amount of health given to the player, and I've also added in an extra function which the script runs once the player picks up the super potion. This IE enumerator increases the player's damage and defense and then keeps a track of how long they have been increased for, and then after about 10 seconds it reverts them back to normal as the super potion has worn off. Originally I was going to have it so the player could have both the spawn potion and spawn super potion available on the hotbar at the same time. However, I realised it was not necessary to have them both, so I changed it so once the player unlocks the super potion, then it automatically replaces the health potion spell. I added it in and tested it out and worked as I expected it to, which I feels so good when it actually works first time. Now, I was a little bit worried when I found out I was still taking damage from the bats, as they're really weak and the increased defense should have stopped this, but then I realised I changed it so even with a high defense level, you will still take just 1 point of damage from weaker enemies, in order to keep a little bit of challenge to the game, as every point of health matters. With the potions added in, I started work on the more aggressive spell of the Mixology tree. The player would be able to cast a spell and spawn in a bomb. There are two main functions which I wanted the bombs to do. One would be to actually destroy the walls which scattered the level, and two, I wanted the bombs to be able to be used as a weapon so they would damage and blow up enemies. With the sprite made, I first checked to see if I could actually spawn it in, if it had a mana cost, and if it triggered the cooldown symbol to start cooling down in the hotbar. They didn't do much at this stage, but that was quickly going to change. Since it was a spell, I wanted it to actually shoot out forward away from the player, so I tried to implement that, but found for some reason it would just go to the right. Now it did collide with the walls, which is what I wanted, but I wanted it to do more than just move right. After fiddling with the spawn point for a little, I managed to get it so it would shoot out forwards. I added some weight to it, as a bomb does, and I made it so the player could push it around until it inevitably exploded. Except, up until this point, the bomb just vanished and didn't actually explode, so I added that in next, or at least the look of it. When the bomb disappears, I set it so a little blast sprite spawns in, as well as a nice particle effect. With it now looking like a working bomb, I started actually acting like a working bomb, i.e. destroying walls and dealing damage. It took a bit of effort and the changing of tags of certain objects, but I finally got it so the bomb would destroy the walls, not as a whole but bit by bit, which is much more desirable. It works by having a collider spawn in, which if the collider interacts with a wall, the walls are destroyed, and if it interacts with an enemy, then the enemy will take a set amount of damage. Now, there was a slight issue where you could actually use the bombs to escape from the world, so I had to remove this feature by setting the outside walls to have a different tag. One of the final abilities the player can unlock is the ability to have all their attacks poison enemies, or at least the attacks they shoot out, their basic attacks. The poison will deal damage to the enemies every second for a set amount of time or until they are dead. Now at the moment the time I've set it just to be about 7-8 seconds, though I don't know whether to make this larger or smaller, or maybe have it something the player can alternatively upgrade. I made a basic sprite which will cover the infected enemies when they are poisoned, and then I started working on the scripts which I would need to, actually have a poison effect on my attacks. The script itself wasn't actually that tricky. It's nothing I hadn't already done before. I just had to adapt to different areas. So I took an IE numerator again and made it so it would first check to see if the enemy was poisoned, and if it is, it would run. And what it would do, it would just repeat for a set amount of times, taking a point of damage off the enemy. I might in the future make it so the enemies take more damage, or I might make it where it's a percentage of the enemy's health instead of just a set amount. I'm unsure yet, but with experimentation I should be able to figure it out. And so that really concludes everything I've done for the Mixology tree. Obviously I'll be going back and adding some extra little bits, such as I've already gone back and added in little blood splatters which occur every time a zombie or enemy takes damage from the poison. Originally I had planned to actually show off 2 schools in this video, but the video is already long enough as is, so I'm just going to put all the other school into the next video. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to actually see you next time. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like or even subscribe, because why not? And then if you actually have a bit of feedback, I would love to appreciate it. Well, no, I would appreciate it. I'd love to hear it. So please just comment down away any feedback you've got. If it's an idea you want or a little bit of a question to go out of the game, go on right ahead. As always, I've been Matt Boop Guy, and I'm going to end it there. Hope to see you all next time, and see you later.